Right, Kenneth, when you hear the word diabetes, what do you think about?
I think about a lot of different illnesses. I think about a main illness that's becoming a bigger issue into the community of today. A lot of people not really big on health and being active and not watching the foods they eat. So they big on sugars. I always look for things that taste good or a little sugar. I always fix anything. And starches. That's what I think about, sugar and starches.
So do you have people in your family with diabetes?
My dad, my brother. My brother's actually 33. He's had it for a while. And he found out recently, well, a couple years ago he had it. My aunts, maybe one of my uncles, my grandma has it, and my dad's mom, she actually died from diabetes. Well, she ended up getting gangrene. So when she started having to get things amputated, she had to get a leg amputated, so her health started to fail, and diabetes was the cause of that. So that's that.
Do you worry?
Do I worry?
You worry about it for yourself?
I worry about it because a lot of, like, would it be my dad? That's close to the auntie.
Right.
But I try to stay as physically active as possible. Try to watch what I eat. So I don't worry about it too much, but I know anything can happen. So now I probably don't worry about it as much as I should.
So you're kind of thinking more about preventing it from happening right now.
See if it skip over me.
Skip over you, that's good. Now you have, is it on your mom's side too, of the family, or just your dad's side?
It's on my mom's side, as far as my grandma. You know, they old school, all they did was cook.
Right.
And they used pretty much whatever to make it taste good. So as far as my grandma, I think she's the only one I know of on my mom's side.
Okay.
But on my dad's side, it's real big on this side.
A lot of family members.
A lot of family members.
So in your family, when you all get together, do people do they talk about the diabetes? Do they, say, hey, we gotta watch what we're doing here, or what happens?
Not really. They kind of hit around it, but they don't necessarily talk about it. Kind of just rather leave it alone. Like, it's in the family, so do what you can for it. Take your medicine, visit the doctor, check your blood. Take your blood sugar, and try to stay active. But like nowadays, everybody in the family is trying to become more active, so that way they can try to prevent it as far as that goes, as far as being healthy and physically active.
But you said your brother is 33. That's pretty young.
Really?
Yeah. Is he overweight or?
Actually, my brother, he kind of was overweight, but he was never really a big person. But now he's real slim due to he said he's trying to become more healthy. And when I found my brother had it, kind of scared. I was like, man, my brother got it.
All right.
I'm like, nah, dude.
So you became much more conscious about it then.
I became much more.
So as a counselor at Boys and Girls Club, do you talk about it at all, or do you talk about a healthy lifestyle?
You know what? In the morning at 10 o'clock, me being who I am, I know how important exercise is. I know that nowadays kids, the biggest thing for a kid nowadays is getting in the house and playing video games. Or getting in the house and watching TV or getting on the computer. And they complain about the heat. In my opinion, the heat won't really be a problem if you actually got out and did something in it. So every day at 10 o'clock, I take 5 and up and put them in a group, and I take 10 and up and put them in a group. I take 5 through 9 and put them in a group together. And my teenagers for 10, put them in a group. And first we start out with a quick stretch all your muscles. And we're gonna go at it for about 45 minutes, just being not too strenuous, but just do something to get the heart rate going.
Right.
So you won't be overweight won't be a problem, and you get used to being in the sun. At first, when I first started on that program, it was kind of tough. But after a while, the kids got used to being out there, and now they go out there and they know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our exercise, so they get ready, and they don't complain as much about it. So they're just going to get it over with.
So this is the 1st of July. So how long have you been working with them this summer?
Since the beginning of June.
Okay, it's about a month. A little bit over a month. And are you're seeing some change though?
I've seen a lot of progress. I've seen a lot of progress, really.
You should be proud.
I see the progress they don't. They like, man, but I remember like I used to make them run a mile. Well, now they're running a mile. I used to run a half a mile, and so they used to be the biggest thing. Someone couldn't even get halfway around the track. Now they get out and they've got where they can get around the track. And I tell them now instead of running a mile all the way out, you'll run your jog the straightaway, and you walk the curve.
All right.
So now I'm changing where you still run the straightaway, but you change the curve where you run the straightaway halfway to the curve, and then you walk, and then you start back running. So I'm getting them used to it.
That's good. Now, how many of the boys and girls that you're working with are overweight?
I mean, I think doesn't it depend on the age group or the height?
But just when you're eyeballing them, just looking at them, what do you?
Overweight is probably maybe I'm gonna say 9 at the most.
So would you say half of the kids or a third of the kids?
That's not even half. We deal on a daily basis. We might get 50 to 75 kids.
Okay.
Come in there. It's a few of them, but their bodies are starting to change because they're becoming physically active.
Right.
Okay, I don't know what they're doing at home, but up there, at least they're getting some work. So,
how long are they there every day?
Well, we start every morning around. Okay, we have early bird, which starts at 6:30 and runs to 7 o'clock. After you run the breakfast, but after breakfast, you got your school session, where they go and learn a few English, math, cover the basics. And after that, we do activities, and you come back after you finish with your activities. You go back to lunch. You go either and lunch we serve them apples and oranges.
So
or the cafeteria's over there.
Right.
And at the end, pretty much by the end of the day, if you're not doing any group work, you're in your different zones. We have a cool-out zone, which is the younger kids, and you have a teen zone, with all the older kids where they go in and play pool until video games, whatever they want to do, until 5:30. At 5:30, we're closing up, going home. So that's the work.
5 days a week?
5 days a week.
So it's a really good thing, though, for the kids during the summertime, isn't it?
It was excellent for the summertime.
Yeah. Yeah. And how do they get there?
Well, parents will become dedicated to this. What I see is a free day away from the kids. Free day over. Sometimes you might have a kid every now and then. The car say, "I need to ride over there," and you pick them up. Other than that,
but you don't run buses out to get the kids.
Like parents bring them. They get up early in the morning. Some come before work or as they get ready to go to work.
Right.
And you drop them off, and they stay there all day.
Now, does the Boys and Girls Club do something like this during the school year?
We have a school program also, an after-school program.
An after-school program.
Yes, ma'am.
Do they encourage? And I'm sure that they help them with schoolwork and things, but do they also encourage activity, physical activity?
We don't encourage activity in the school term because like you have PE going on during school, so I'm sure all this gonna be enforced during the day. So when they come over in the afternoon, is get your homework done, and after you finish your homework, you might do a tutoring session, studying for a test, and when you finish with that, you're on to outside activities. And when you go outside, you're gonna run around and play anyway. So I kind of see that as reinforcing it.
Right. So you're studying phys ed in school, and what do you want to do when you finish?
My mind changes. I want to coach. But I also want to, I guess the older I get, the more I kind of bag out coaching. Because like, it's kind of like automatic with athletes. You run, you physically active. I kind of want to get everybody. I mean, like, being healthy is something that you can really help on your own besides an illness that you can't control. But the way I see it, the way I'm trying to stress to the kids nowadays, that the more you do on your own, the better you will be later on in life. You know what I'm saying? Health is it's probably the most important thing you do in life. And it only take maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes a day. You might got 20, 30 extra minutes. You sitting around doing that, do some push-ups,
Yeah.
sit-ups, jogging place, jumping jacks, anything. Just get your heart rate going.
So the kids listen to you. They look up to you. Well, they have to look up, right? Right. So you see probably some of the parents coming to drop them off and to pick them up.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you see them, do they appear to be in good physical condition?
The parents?
The parents.
Some, I give you this. Some in the morning they come in and work out clothes. I'm assuming it's their workout clothes. They come like they've been out there doing something. And some can really be can be with me at 10 o'clock. You know, not throwing the stone, but we try to change the ways of the world, eating habits.
Right.
So yeah, some in shape and some aren't.
Okay, so my next question is then, how do we get from just working with the kids and teaching them the right things to the point that they take it home and the parents catch on too?
I feel like it's going to become a self-esteem issue. Not physical. Whatever I call it the man in the mirror, which the person you see when you look in the mirror. Does that make you happy or sad? Anybody can, what I tell kids all the time, anybody can talk about doing something. It's easy. It's easier said than done. But you don't get the changes you want until you go out and do something about it. So what I say, if kids are starting to become happy with the change that's going on in their body, they won't become picked on as much. And if parents can see what their kids are doing, I hope it becomes more like the domino effect. You know, parents work out with kids, they do it together. And that's going to bring a family. Doing things together as a family can bring you together. And working out that can definitely help, because everybody needs it. Nobody is exempt from it.
I love the idea of man in the mirror. Woman in the mirror. That's a great thing. What do the kids say when you...
When I say man in the mirror, they respond to it. Now they know what I'm talking about when I say the man in the mirror. And that not only goes on with the health, it goes on with everyday life. I mean, are you happy with decisions you make through the day? I tell kids life is all about the choices you make. You control what goes on in your life. So they've caught on to it.
So you're inspiring me. I think that's a message the kids need to hear. And it comes probably more powerful from you than from maybe even a teacher at school or from their church leader. So how do we get more young people, college-age people, to get involved and become mentors to the others, the younger kids?
Honestly, you have to have the drive and the want to help somebody else. You know, forget about me, forget about I. I'm trying to go out there and help as many people as I can. I mean, everybody has a purpose on this earth, and until you figure out really what it is, in the meantime, you can be helping somebody else. And it goes back to that domino effect. One person helps somebody, and the community just begins to catch on like dry grass, like it's wildfire. So that's really just a mental thing of what you want to do, what you have in your heart, and what you decide to do. That's where I see it.
So when you graduate, do you hope to come back to Winston County and stay here?
I don't know if really, that goes on wherever I can find a good paying job, a decent paying job.
Right.
So I'm gonna go wherever. My plan is to take what I've learned down through the years from my parents and from my school, and just things that I've just picked up along the way, and take wherever I take it to is where I'm gonna use it. And if I'm here, maybe a couple of years, I'm in another state, another town, everywhere. I may not reach everybody, that's the thing I'm saying, but somebody will go on happy every day. And what I've learned, things I know now, I've got it from somebody else, was taught somebody else, and they got it from somebody. So I'm gonna teach it to somebody, and then whoever that person is, whoever I reach, is She's gonna reach out to somebody else.
So who's been the best in, who influenced you?
Well, I'd have to be my dad.
Really?
Ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be like him, and
Good guy, huh?
he worked magic. He's always been the guy in my life. So I look up to him. Yeah, I love my pops to death.
Sorry, I get emotional. I understand. It's good. It's good to hear a young person say that. Too often, young people don't appreciate their parents, but obviously that's not your experience. You have a smile that doesn't quit, Kenneth. Anybody ever tell you that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so when the kids don't want to go out in the sun and they don't want to exercise, what is it that makes them?
If you, like I said, you have a choice, but either it's better to go and exercise, because you always end up doing extra. I'll make you do something that's 10 times harder, or it might seem like it's 10 times. I'll make you do a leg exercise. Maybe do about 30 air squats. They get you real tired. Then you're gonna wish you was over there exercising. So I don't want to run to that too often. They get out there now and it's like, if you do it wrong, you do it long. You do it right, you do it light.
So what about the difference between boys and girls?
Really? Now it's not a difference. But they've all pooled together. They go out there and have fun with it now. They go out there and joke around. They know the older kids especially know. We go out there on these 5 lines across the front. I mean, everybody fill in behind me. And the first 5 people go, as far as when we get to our activities. First 5 people go, they might be laughing and talking, but they get it done. And they become like a little ball. They pull together and help each other. They encourage each other to finish. And by 10:45, we done. We gotta go eat.
So it's really interesting when I talk to people about diabetes, living with diabetes. They often talk an awful lot about the food and how difficult that food part is. But then when we get to talking about activity, it's even harder for them to get involved. It's harder for them to push themselves to do that. Got any words of wisdom for them?
Talking about like just people who have diabetes? I don't have it, but I can say that diabetes is, you got to, the way I see it, you look at things in life as such as a stepping stone. It's not the end of the world. It's something that came up. I can deal with it. A few adjustments in my life, and I'm back to living a normal life just like the next person. I mean, eating healthy, everybody should eat healthy. Everybody needs to exercise. So I said, you're doing something that you need to do anyway, as far as eating healthy and exercise. And in order to push yourself, you can come up with slogans and get your shirt made. Say, like we always had a shirt that said, before our players, like for summer camp, say, I survived summer camp 2011. Or you can get your shirt that say, I survived diabetes 2011, or I conquered it. And you get a shirt that say, Team Me 365 for the days, diabetes 0. So I beat it for another year. And just different little things, whatever motivates you to defeat it, do what you have to do. I mean, do it. It's all it's like you, whatever you do is gonna help the next person. I say 90% of things you go through in your life are not for you. You had to go through them, but it's for you to help the next person. So I say, just do whatever you have to do to motivate and push yourself.
I notice you have a lot of notes on your pad there.
Oh, that was.
What are the notes all about?
Oh, they were just talking about different things in diabetes.
Is that right? So you were thinking a little bit about it before you come? Well, all right. So what were some important things you thought you wanted to say?
As far as like when you motivate, I mean, when you're doing what you have to do, as far as going to the doctor, stay with your doctor regularly, check your sugar, sugar count, watch what you eat, and if you have clean cuts. Cuts are an issue. Cause for some reason, I can't. Diabetes, it heightens cuts, so you're more likely to become sick off of it. So make sure you clean them out real good, and still cut back on sweets and starches. We all have a sin of that. And my biggest thing is proper diet and exercise. That's the easiest thing you can do. And medication, of course you got to do that. And surrounding yourself with positive people, like immediate family member plan, being the role models. And when I say surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with somebody who may have diabetes, who already made up their mind that I'm gonna beat this. I may have to live with it, but I'm not gonna let it defeat me. It's just another stepping stone. And as family members, we can also, if we know somebody has diabetes, don't always tell them about it. I mean, what to do. Go out there with them. Change what you eat with them. Those type of things motivate somebody to see somebody else do it. Whether you got it or not, I promise you it's going to help you. So.
Is that what you do at your house with your dad?
I try. But daddy's daddy, he's going to do, like dad does, we have to do. My mom tries, she tries her best, but daddy's dad. And he works all day, and he'll come in, he's gonna eat what he want to eat. But when my dad makes up in his mind that he's gonna do something, ain't nobody stopping him.
No stopping him.
No stopping him. So we're working on him.
So, are you the youngest in the family, or?
Baby of the family.
You're the baby, huh? All right. So you've had all that baby, lots of attention, or? Kind of,
but. My dad said, "Hey, if you want something in life, you gotta work for it." So I don't get the attention because it's just a new baby, my niece. But I'm used to working for it anyways. So
you're the first one in your family to go to college? No?
My mom graduated from Jackson State. I got a sister who went to Mississippi State. I got another sister where she lives in Columbus. And my brother, he was at Jackson State, but now he drives truck for welders, so he's making pretty good money. Yeah. And my dad was in West Virginia. And that's when his mom first got sick, and he came home and never went back. Kind of stayed with his mom, and that's why he finished. He stayed there.
I guess let me ask you this. Are you involved in church?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think it would take to get local churches to have the same kind of message? You know, everybody at church worries about our soul and our spirit, but not necessarily our body sometimes.
Church would be kind of fun to do because everybody wants to provide that family atmosphere. And I say if you have a motivating preacher, the head of the church, if he can motivate you, I mean, he can start it. He can be a trendsetter. He can start in this church, somebody, get it going, and do it as a church. Set up maybe an afternoon job around the church. So everybody, you do a Saturday in the park, or church in the park. Still do what you gotta do as far as the word is concerned, but you can incorporate other things into it. Have a snack table as far as fruit, water, orange juice, anything healthy. You just have a good time. Or you can not only just do the ordinary activities as far as running, you can play volleyball, anything to get you moving. Softball, anything. Have everybody doing something. Have everybody running around.
Okay, do you think you could motivate the older women?
I think I could.
How would you do that?
I mean, I think you would have to compliment the woman. Like I see a change in you I think with a woman, you have to be. You got to be more patient with her. You got to find a way to push her buttons in a nice way. I mean, to get the point across. And you might tell a few fibs here and there, but anything to get her going. And once she's going, she's going. She's like, well, if somebody else sees it, you know, I can't be the only one seeing the change. Somebody else got to say, I see it. You know, eating healthy and all that. So if somebody else sees it, she's gonna want to do it more and more. So you have to, I think that's more about compliments.
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 Okay. Good thing to do. Okay, well, I think that's all the questions I had. Is there anything else on your pad there that you wanted that we didn't talk about?
No. We covered everything.
Did we cover everything? Well, very good.
How old are you?
23.
Okay.
And when do you graduate?
Hopefully when I go back. I sat out of school for a year. I left after football season. And it was time for me to go. I needed a break. So now I'm going back to school to finish and to find my place somewhere in this world, doing something right. Doing whatever I'm supposed to do is what I'm trying to do in life.
Well, it sounds like you're doing some right things right now.
I'm trying.
You've convinced me without, and probably Ann too, without.
And one thing I will say, as a professor, somebody's doing something right, because they would be very proud of the way you've conducted yourself and the things that you're saying. I know you're learning because it's all coming out. It's awesome.